Hi, Steve here. In the last video I did about Maui, I said this may be the worst catastrophe of the century, and now I'm beginning to think that I really underestimated the fires and what's happened there. There are a few accounts coming out from actual locals in Lahaina, and they are not normal. The official death toll as of Saturday is 114, but Maui local Allison Medina told the Daily Mail on Friday that authorities are concealing the true number of dead, which she believes is over 4 times higher. She said people have been doing their own recovery. I know there are at least 480 dead here in Maui, and I don't understand why they're not saying that. She also claimed that the morgues have run out of body bags and needed to ship more in from the mainland. She said, I do know they ran out of body bags by the first or second night and had to ship some in from the mainland, unquote. So the question some are asking is, why are Maui authorities drastically downplaying the true numbers of the casualties of the wildfires that swept through Lahaina last week, with the actual death toll believed to be at least 480, according to locals? Allison said, I have a personal friend who lost her parents, sister, and her 10-year-old nephew. She went into Lahaina and saw them there. Medina also questioned the government's slow and inept response to the horrific disaster. She said 100% not enough is being done, so people are doing it themselves. The government, relief organizations, they're not doing anything. We have the right to know what's going on. FEMA came here to help with the recovery process, but we don't see them. The Red Cross arrived 4 days late, and they're not doing anything. They're supposed to help, and they're just standing around. We're only 100 miles from Oahu, which has several military bases. Why is the response so lacking? Why are they doing so little? Why is nothing else being done? Unquote. Southwest flight attendant Sarah Trost corroborated Medina's claims. She spoke with a morgue worker in the Maui area who told her that at least 480 people were found dead and that authorities had only searched 13% of the area, not 78%, as they recently claimed.
In 90 seconds, I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. I'm a flight attendant. I'm in Maui. I got picked up by my shuttle driver to go to the hotel earlier, and he was just explaining all the tragic events, obviously, that have happened this week in Maui with the fires. He was saying that the news isn't even covering the gifs of it, and that the news has only confirmed 103 bodies dead as of today, and they have already confirmed here on the island of Maui that over 480 people have been confirmed dead. They're only 13% through the town of Lahaina with going through the houses to find the dead bodies. He is volunteering his time going into the homes to collect the bodies. He works part-time at the morgue, and he is just, the stories he told me, you guys, of what he saw and what he witnessed during that time is absolutely gut-wrenching. He found so many children and moms holding each other, infants, toddlers, the unimaginable, husbands and wives, whole entire family members in a room just huddling together, burning to death. He's collecting, it's all bones, so he's grabbing the bones with the ash, shoveling them into body bags. They have no more room on the island in the morgue, so they are shipping in containers to hold these body bags. People were running into the ocean to escape the flames. The flames came so fast, burnt all the boats, and went over the surface level of the ocean and was just burning people left and right. People were burning in their cars. I mean, this is absolutely tragic, and the news hasn't even come close to covering what's really going on here on the island of Maui.
He found so many children and moms holding each other, infants, toddlers, the unimaginable. Husbands and wives, whole entire families in a room, just huddling together, burning to death. There's something very eerie and creepy about the fact that she said that all these people were burned up in literally about a 2-hour time period. Did you know that cremation takes between 2 and 3 hours at an average operating temperature of 1,000 to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit? So we all know that something started these fires, and we know there were high winds, which is never good in a fire. But the real question is, what started the fire? Because I remember the Paradise fires in California and the other fires, and it makes me have to wonder, was there some malevolent technology used to do this incredibly evil act of cremating these families in their homes at temperatures from 1,000 to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit? It's all bones. So he's grabbing the bones with the ash, shoveling them into body bags.
Hey everyone, it is Tuesday. It has been 1 week since the fire started here on Maui. And I feel like everyone is being kind of kept in the dark about what's really happening here. I know there's a lot of information out on the news and the media, but there is no help here. There is no help. Like, FEMA came in and went to Lahaina, and they're doing search and recovery, which is desperately needed. We have 1,400 people unaccounted for. 1,400 people that most likely will not be found because the fire was so bad that it melted metal. So the remains of the people that they're finding are ash. There was a whole news conference about it yesterday. They had to bring in a bunch of cadaver dogs because there aren't actual remains that look like people. That's where we're at. That's why nobody's allowed in. It's a massive grave. It's a crime scene. You don't know what you're walking on. So FEMA is busy doing that. I get it. The National Guard is securing our roads. When we drove through yesterday, they're securing all the side roads because people had driven down into Lahaina and were walking on everything. National Guard is busy. Our police officers are stretched so thin, trying to help in Lahaina and also maintain the other towns on this island. Fire department still battling hot spots up the mountain and also trying to help in Lahaina. We had firefighters already come from Honolulu. Our government has not deployed any military assistance, and they are a 30-minute flight away. There is no one here. Everything that has been organized by local residents and the community. People volunteering their boats and bringing supplies over to a boat ramp on that side, setting up a supply station on that side, food trucks closing their food truck and donating their generators so that people on that side could have power. People taking off of work to volunteer. Nurses volunteering over there on their days off. The community has done everything here. The people on the west side were waiting for help. It's been a week. No help has arrived. That's what's happening on Maui, okay? The people in Lahaina had no warning about the fire, and it burned everything in a matter of 2 hours. We have a tsunami warning system on this island. They did not activate it. They sent out the warning system through the phones, and there was no service and no power. Nobody got the warnings. They closed school on Tuesday for children because the winds were too high and it was knocking down the poles. Children were home on Tuesday, a lot of them probably without their parents who were at work. And those children didn't know what to do. That's what happened here, okay? Elderly centers not evacuated. People being in the water waiting to be rescued from 3 p.m. until 2 in the morning by the Coast Guard. The people on the west side are exhausted, okay? People have been volunteering around the clock to help get people supplies and organize things over there, and they need help. I don't know what the government's plan is, but right now, they're not doing anything. It's very frustrating for everyone here. I think that the news makes it sound like help is here and things are getting better. We are still in search and recovery, and we will be in search and recovery for a while. Everyone's tired. Everyone's frustrated. And then on top of that, on this side of the island, we still have the tourism industry running. So I know I've shared the posts. There are people running supplies to the other side by boat, and then the next day expected to take people out snorkeling. One side of the island looks like a third world country, and people are over here having 5-star dinners. That's what's happening on Maui right now. Everyone is really pushing for help. The military should be here. More aid should be here. Everyone has started their own Venmos and GoFundMes because they realized that help wasn't coming. So, as a community, we're strong, but we're tired. And I just think that that should be known. People are comparing this to the Paradise Fire that happened in California in 2018. I want to make it very clear, 85 people perished in that fire. That is devastating. There will be hundreds of people, maybe even over 1,000, that were victims to this fire. This will be probably the deadliest fire on record since 1871. It is 2023. Like, this should not have happened. So that's where we're at. Everyone here is very thankful for everyone's help. So if you are donating, if you are sending goods, if you are reaching out, thank you. Continue doing it. It's going to take a really long time for us to get through this. So we appreciate your support. We appreciate your donations, and keep sharing, because the world needs to see what's happening here and the truth is not being shown.
They have no more room on the island in the morgue, so they're shipping the containers to hold those body bags. Over 1,300 people are still missing as search and rescue operations continue. The government's tepid response, its management policies that exacerbated the disaster, the Maui resource management official who refused to release water to West Maui to prevent the wildfire from spreading, Maui police also forming a blockade, preventing many cars from evacuating the Lahaina area as the deadly blaze was closing in. From all the reports and everything you've heard so far, does anyone really believe that these people just died in a bad fire? Leave me your comments and let me know what you think. Because if technology was used to cremate these poor people in their homes, there are still two very important questions that remain. Who was behind it? Who used something this powerful? And for what purpose would anyone commit this unbelievable atrocity against these poor souls in Lahaina?
The warning system on Maui is one of the most advanced and maintained warning systems on Earth. Residents are accustomed to monthly tests, but on the day of the fire, no sirens went off. There were no warnings. The director in charge of this warning system was at a FEMA disaster seminar in Oahu as the fires were devastating the people of Maui.
At the same time, people were running for their lives, trying to escape flames that engulfed the town.
When asked if he regretted not sounding the alarm, he said no, because he was worried that the people would run into the fire.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not.
But instead, they burned to death at home, including an untold number of children who were home alone that morning because of a school cancellation. The water wasn't on, fire hydrants were dry, and the deputy director of water resource management, who was named an Obama Foundation leader, refused to release water for the West Maui fires until it was too late. He says that in order to share water, Hawaiians need to discuss equity.
Really, my motto is always like, let water connect us and not divide us. Like we can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity.
Without any warnings and without any water, the people tried to flee, but they were stopped by the police, who had orders to keep people from escaping.
I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, I'm under orders to keep them here." And I said, "The fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street. You know, these people got to get out of here." And he said, "I'm following orders."
No way.
And so I just kept walking. Well, maybe he knows something I don't.
The Maui chief of police was the incident officer at the 2017 Las Vegas shootings.
No comment?
No comment right now, guys.
No comment?
Yeah.
I'm talking to the chief, sir. Yeah.
I understand.
Why doesn't he want to speak to the people? Only to a camera.
Residents are not allowed to leave unless they get a permission slip from the federal government. But the government recently decided to shut that option down.
I've just been informed that we are shutting down this placard distribution as of now.
The federal government offers a one-time payment of $700 to each family that has lost their home. And the governor of Hawaii tells reporters that the state plans on acquiring the land.
I'm already thinking about ways for the state to acquire that land so that we can put it into workforce housing, to put it back into families, or to make it open spaces in perpetuity as a memorial to people who were lost.
And if it wasn't for the local community, The survivors would be left alone to die in the ashes of their neighbors.
Continue to help them if you're able, and support them with your prayers.